I'm Liz Scissors. Today's video we're going to talk about nail trimming. Nail trimming is critical. You have no choice, you have to do it. Rare dogs will chew their own nails, and some dogs that are super active will naturally wear down their nails. But in general, most pets that live in our home and aren't on rough surfaces on a regular basis, digging and wearing down those nails, you have to manually cut them or file them. So I want you to remember that it is uncomfortable for dogs to be put in a situation that is unnatural for them. So you always want to keep them in the most natural position you can, and that will give them more comfort and they'll feel more secure, so they will hopefully not argue as much. If you try to lift their leg in an unnatural position to try to make it more comfortable for you to cut, they are definitely going to argue with you more, and you can cause pain and discomfort. So it's really important to make sure that they are in a comfortable, natural stance. You also want to make sure that you understand nails grow incredibly fast. And depending on the dog, depending on its environment, some dogs, it can take every 2 weeks for you to stay on top of that. And because there's a vein that grows inside of every single nail, it's protected by that outer shell. You have to make sure that you're being conscientious of how far you're going to cut. We all know if you cut it too short, it's going to bleed and it causes pain, and the dog is not going to forgive you easily. So it's important to take small steps, do a little bit at a time. Nail cutters, the plier style, are the most popular ones, and these ones are very effective and work very well. Dogs will fixate on things when they are uncomfortable. So when you are going to cut nails, if you are gently picking up the foot and holding the foot, and you go to cut and the dog is reacting super harsh, one of the benefits of noise distraction is they're not able to fixate so much on every sound that you're doing. So it's really important to just put some music on or talk like crazy and reassuring so that they aren't focusing so much on the sound, as well as make sure you have taught the dog to allow you to handle the foot. If you want to cut nails and they won't allow you to hold the foot still, you are absolutely creating a recipe for disaster. So you want to train them first to tolerate the handling of the feet. Touching, holding. Most importantly, it's holding, because the vets will tell you, the breeders will tell you, handle their feet like crazy, play with their toes, get them familiar with it. That is not beneficial when you ask them to hold it still and they don't want to. It's not going to help you that they're used to you touching. It's helpful, but it's not going to fix it. You have to teach them to allow you to actually hold the foot. And that just is repetition, positive reward, teaching them that you are not going to hurt them by holding them still, putting them in a comfortable position. So you're going to make sure that you train them first. Do not try to cut nails when the dog is pulling its foot like this. When you as a professional are trying to do it and the owner is standing there and they're like, oh, make sure you don't cut it too short, and the dog is not working with you, you have to teach the owner how to train that dog at home in addition to what you're doing, so that the dog learns that this is not that bad and it's going to absolutely help them. We cannot not cut nails. It is not an option. The structure of their foot, the pads are supposed to hit the ground. If their nails are overgrown, it actually will change the way that their feet hit the ground and how they walk, and can actually cause all sorts of issues all the way up into the upper arm and shoulder. So it's really important that you make sure you stay on top of those. Most dogs need to have their nails cut every 2 to 4 weeks. Some can get away with a little bit longer, but you definitely want to do it at least every 2 to 4 weeks. Dremeling is an option. It is a grinding process that makes the nail not quite so sharp, because with the cut, you're going to create edges. With the Dremel, you're going to round those edges. It can be very scary for the dog, the vibration. So again, it's just acclimating them, getting them accustomed to it. Make sure there's noise distraction going on, and then you can go ahead and file those sharp edges for them. And do little bits at a time. When you're first training puppies or even rehabilitating a dog that's really had some bad experiences, do little bits at a time. Don't try to do it all at once. Just get away with one. Make sure it's positive. Don't let them pull their foot back and forth, and you just keep reassuring them. And eventually they will become accustomed to it. Put it on your calendar and do it at least once or twice a week, the handling and training. Before you know it, it'll just be a positive experience. I hope these tips are helpful, and you can find out more information about me at lizsizzers.com, and I will see you at the next one.